are here at Beerology 2018. I'm with
Alex.
And finally back after missing for 2 episodes, we have the third member, Chris.
I am psyched out of my mind to be back, fellas.
He came back just for the free beer.
I think it's been roughly a year since I've talked about beer to all you lovely listeners.
He deserted us in our time of need. And we pressed on.
I did.
No, we had many things going on in our lives and big things occurring and just shit happens. But we're here now, we're ready to taste some brews and we're getting ready to talk to some awesome brewers and a lot of sales reps. So, onwards!
Onward!
For the longest time.
Oh, come on.
I thought we had something there for this.
Join. You're beeping. You're blinking. Is that okay?
Yeah, it means we're recording.
All right, excellent.
You should know these things.
I don't have a CAD.
Well,
All right, anyway,
it means we're
I like
recording.
them. I just don't have one.
anyways, a while back we did an episode with Western New York Brews. We did a collaboration podcast between the two of us, 2-part episode. One on our good friend Scott's side, and then he came to our side and he did our show. And he is back here and he is recording also at Beerology 2018.
Beerology. Did I come to your place? Or we just did them all in one place?
We did it
Yeah.
at your place.
Okay.
Your
That's
place
true.
is way too cool for us not to record podcasts.
And then we just went, all right, new podcast.
We talked for 2 hours, called it 2 episodes.
I remember that. All right.
Had a day. You haven't invited us back.
I did.
What's that about? It's really not your
I
honor.
did on your show, and then when we did ours, I blew out our mics.
Nice. That's true. It, like, back it
I
up.
don't get this.
Back it up. So those are some nice glasses, guys.
They are
Those are
beautiful
pretty beer
Yeah.
glasses there. Right? Clink, nice.
Someone clink me.
Have you tried anything
holding
yet?
the microphone.
What have you tried? How about the Das Hausbrauer one?
Oh, I heard those guys are terrible.
I had the cherry.
It's not a great beer, but that's not the point,
Well, one of them isn't.
right?
And why is
The
that,
other
Scott?
one wasn't okay. Well, the other one's okay too, but it's still, they both got rushed through.
So what did the Das Hausbrauers do?
So the Das Hausbrauers, we had 2 beers. One was treated. I filtered it. I threw in some Camden tablets to get rid of any extra chlorine after the carbon filtering, and then I put 12 grams of gypsum in there. And it's still not very hoppy or dry for the 12 grams of gypsum. However, the other one was just straight tap water. Like out of a hose. A drinking water hose, not like a normal garden
But that's
hose,
not a
but
bad
still.
thing because Buffalo has wonderful water.
It does. However, you can taste the difference. There's a little bit of a chlorine taste to it.
Definitely got the chlorine in it.
Yeah. Yep. Because everyone will tell you, oh yeah, if you got good water, it'll make good beer. And then as soon as you're standing next to them, they're like, here's the Camden tablet that I throw in. Be like, whoa, what do you mean you threw in a Camden tablet? They're like, well, yeah, good water makes good beer, but you got to do this to it. All right, well then explain a little bit further. Oh, plus I leave my water out overnight because then the chlorine evaporates and you're left with. But good water makes good beer. That's all you should remember. Like I can handle it. Just tell me everything that you're doing, and I will take it in.
Remember, this is
Don't.
called Beerology tonight. There's going to be a lot of nerd talk.
This was I was like hurt, not really hurt, but I was confused as to why they would tell me just use tap water, and then I'm watching everyone else treating their water, even the simplest bits of treating. I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me that? I would do that. Buy a Camden tablet and throw it in.
Okay, so then when it comes to water,
Yeah.
difference of tap water, throwing your Camden tablet in, or just buying your
Or just buy your water.
Just buy the water, which gets really kind of freaking expensive, which I learned
Right?
when I got my first beer.
The people who tell you that, I'm fine with that. Just go buy spring water, because yeah, why not, right?
Because there's no chlorine in it.
There's no chlorine in that.
And there's Zach. Zach, get over here.
Zach.
Now we have
42 North
Zach.
now.
Zach from
Already
42
wearing the
North.
full Circle Fest.
How's it going, guys?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good.
What
Enjoying the
are
scene.
on your taps?
We have the Treaty Saison, which is just released this weekend.
See ya.
Very nice.
And then our
And now we lost Dan.
standard Elimination Pilsner.
Very nice. I
good
love,
beer,
I
though.
love Illumination.
There might be a bottle or 2 of the Sojourn.
Ah, nice.
Okay,
Stopping by right now.
That's why I'm sticking with you guys.
We'll see you soon, Zach.
Yeah, so this pretty much, guys, this episode is not going to be the usual banter that a little bit of humor that here and there, but this is literally the Buffalo Comic Con of beer for everybody.
Yeah,
It
right?
is
Yeah.
just guys who are very, very passionate about the science and the love of craft beer.
Of course they did.
Yeah. So, all right. Onwards to the next group. All right.
Not to be trusted alone.
All right. It is very good.
So that beer we use a straight strawberry puree in the brew, and then we actually add in to the fermenter Greek yogurt bacteria.
Okay.
So it's not like it's sour with Brettanomyces or anything like that. It's not like an actual soury yeast. It's Greek yogurt yeast. So that actually helps give it a little bit more balance. It doesn't come across as shockingly sour,
Which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
That's
right.
exactly. That's what
A little bit of kick right at the very end. That's all you really want. But when you use different yeasts, you always run into that issue of possibly going, "Oh, this is way too sour."
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things I have with any beer. There always goes is like the term is it kind of
Yeah, and that's the thing with gozas too. Is gozas always tend to be like salty sour in a lot of circumstances, which, from my experience, just sampling people out, turns a lot of people off. Like I know out west last year, gozas were the shit. Like gozas were the hot beer last year. Now everything's going back to like lagers and easy drinking and light drinking, like double IPAs.
Are back now.
Yeah, double IPAs are getting harder and harder to find out. Now everything's going to like sessionability too. So trends definitely are changing in the craft beer world. So yeah.
You know, the hardest thing for me when it comes to sour though is the fact that having a beer that makes my jaw hurt. When the nerve tightens up so much,
Yeah.
Lockjaw kind of thing.
it's just now unenjoyable. I don't like why I'm drinking pure lemon juice.
When you drink a beer that tastes like you just ate a Warhead,
Yes.
like I'm not in 5th grade anymore. I don't need to be taking these Warhead bets. I'm good. Like I want to enjoy my beer. I don't want to struggle through it.
No. I want this during the summertime.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll have that in the summer. We have a new beer coming out called Tropical Storm IPA, which is actually just releasing Monday in 15 packs and 6 packs. But that's actually, it's a super nice New England style, so it's going to be juicy, it's going to be hazy, but it's only 5.5%. So it's going to have big notes of grapefruit right up front, and then it's going to end with a nice guava note to kind of balance out that bitterness. But that bitterness is going to kind of linger on your tongue and make you kind of want to drink more, because that first hit on your tongue is nice and sweet. But then there's that lingering bitterness from hops after.
It's time to go to the beach.
Yes.
Buffalo needs it.
Pick up a 15-pack and go to the beach, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for talking to us. Names?
I'm Jake.
Nice to meet you, Jake.
Nice to meet you, too.
Guys from Saranac. Nice to meet you, man. Guys, cheers. We appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
All right, we're here at New York Beer Project booth, and we are with Patrick.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Definitely. So, what are you serving tonight?
Tonight we got our Prohibition Porter, an old school style porter, and we've got our Cherry Blonde Ale, winner of our Meet the Blondes contest.
What is a Meet the Blondes contest?
So, we had this event a couple years ago where we brewed 3 different blonde ales. We brewed a mint agave blonde, we did a honey brown, or a honey blonde, and then we did cherry blonde, and we asked all of our guests to vote on their favorite, and then whoever won, we brought her back for some more. So cherry blonde is back.
All right.
Get reacquainted.
Congrats to Cherry. And can they by any chance be mixed together?
They can definitely be mixed together. So we do primarily 2/3 of Prohibition Porter, and then 1/3 of Cherry Blonde on top, and you get that chocolatey coffee base, and then on top the cherry, so it's like a chocolate covered cherry coffee.
Now, if I come to the brewery and I ask for this in a pint glass, will you do that also?
We will definitely do this. Yes, 100%.
So, first taste is always free. That's what I'm
I like it.
That sounds right to me. Tell us a little bit about New York Beer Project, where you guys are, what goes on there.
Cool. So we're a gastro pub and brewery located at 6933 South Transit Road in Lockport, right on Transit, a mile south of the Transit Drive-In. If you're planning some drive-in excursions this year, you should totally make that your pregame. We fill growlers and crowlers too, so bring it. Check out the movie. You know.
You see the drive-in because last summer I actually went to the drive-in and we stopped for dinner and we I did grab a bottle for the movie.
Yes, you did it right.
2 movies, 5 beers. Why not?
Perfect.
I wasn't driving.
Excellent, you know, and if you get there and the second half of the double feature isn't the best, you just come back for a nightcap. So it's right down the road.
Perfect.
But yeah, big, huge place. We serve food. We got 20 different beers on tap right now of our own beers. Everything's made right there in house. And you check out nybeerproject.com for a list of all the events that we have coming up. And there's always something going on at New York.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. And thanks for the good work. You guys are awesome.
Well, pretty much we really liked drinking beer, and we like podcasts. This guy, Alex, brews crazy amounts of beer, so we decided to all get together and do a podcast.
I got into brewing, met Alex, and then kind of came to this and started spitballing, like, why don't we just do a podcast? It was, we were all at a party one night, and someone just threw down a recorder. They're like, okay, we're just having a great time. Some tracks. Exactly.
Right.
So we had a great time. Let's do it.
What do you make, man? What's your style?
Honestly, the past 2 years, I've been so focused on IPAs. I can't get enough of them, and I just keep brewing one after another. But actually, I just brewed a brown ale, and that's why I had to go for the brown ale, because I just kegged it today. So, yeah, it's very good. It's very
Ours
good.
is a little softer. It's American style.
Sorry, real quick, I didn't catch your name? Paul, all right. And then perfect, all right.
So we're New York State's first trifecta winery, brewery, and distillery. As far as I know, we're the only one operating under the farm license. So we strictly follow that mandate from the New York State legislation. It's 100% on the wine side, 75% on the distillery, if I'm not. I'm a brewer, so I know what mine is. It's 20%. We're currently operating at 50%. Getting ready to amp up with the 2019 when it raises to 60%.
Very nice.
It's a smooth transition for us.
Yeah.
We've actually all been lucky enough. We made a trip down. The local friend of ours, she's part of the Buffalo Beer Goddesses. So we actually were lucky enough to go down there and check out the brewery. We actually got a chance to go down there, so we took a road trip because I was like, I gotta check these guys out. I fell in love with some of your beers at the Buffalo Brew Bash at the ballpark. And I was walking through and I stumbled upon it. And for some reason, they tucked you in the most awkward corner in the concession stand. And I was like, there's no line. I ended up staying at that entire brew the entire night because you had everything. I was like, I'll have that, and I'll take that, and more of that.
That's really cool. Well, thank you.
That was great.
So what are you brewing right now that you're excited about?
Alright, so I'll throw the BNBA a little plug right now. What I'm excited about is this new Can-Am beer that came out. Although the Can-Am Invitational didn't really get off the ground, Dan Syracuse from Pizza Plant kind of stepped in and said, hey, we'll do a quasi-tap takeover. We'll bring the New York brew beers that the Canadians came down to collaborate with to my place, and we'll make this happen. In May, sometime we're going to be going to Hamilton, Ontario to do the same thing with the Canadian beers. Next year we're locked into a festival where all the beers will be able to come across the board. We'll be at the Niagara Falls Convention Center. It'll be a fun time.
We need tickets.
Nice.
So we brewed a Can-Am Copper IPA. Brilliant copper color. We use a lot of atypical hops in the dry hop and aroma category. So we tried to flip it on its head and do some bittering hops as aroma hops. You know, we normally wouldn't do so. It's heavy with the CTCs and aroma, heavy with the nuggets and aroma.
You know, nugget in a dry hop, I think is great. I've done an all nugget double IPA before, and it was a great beer.
So excellent, like herbaceous, piney, resinous kind of characteristics coming through. The beer we brewed, so we wanted to actually grasp the event and say, hey, this is Canadian, this is American. So what we do, we're a farm brewery, as I said before. So we did New York State hops and Canadian malt.
Very
Outside of our mandate, 20% mandate of New York State malt. I reached out to a guy at a malt house, 1886 malt house in Fulton, New York. He gave me some aromatic 20 Lagavulin malt to play around with. It created a nice, brilliant red color when it's steep. You know what I mean? So it blended well
awesome.
Very nice.
That's what I'm excited about right now. You know, I mean, we do a club for our projects. You know, we're winery, distillery, brewery, as I said. So I had access to any number of barrels, bourbon barrels, dry whiskey barrels, Tantamyces infected barrels, white wine barrels, port and sherry barrels.
It's a perfect combination of everything. You have access to everything.
Exactly.
It's great.
And I mean, that was the selling point for me when I started out as an intern here. You know, it was like, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Somebody suggested, actually, I'll shout it out. The late Dr. Kevin Weiss is the one who put me in touch.
Cheers. Cheers to Kevin.
Cheers to Kevin.
Great guy.
I was a beer drinking buddy of his before I even knew anything about beer or taught a class about beer. I went to the ECC Brewing Science program. He hooked me up with this internship at 5 and 20. He said, look man, you'll be doing the most unique work. You'll be doing distilling, you'll be making wine, you'll be doing beer. Everyone else is just doing beer. So if you're willing to take the drive to Westfield, you're going to have a great experience.
For the love of fermentation.
Yep, exactly. Climb the ladder, you know, and now I'm the head brewer there. So it's been an awesome experience. It's a small family-owned business, you know what I mean? And real tight-knit community in Westfield. Beautiful drive out there. I have no regrets.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Your,
Thanks for your interest.
no, absolutely. This stuff is, I love this brewery, so.
You know, I kind of went with the plain Jane beers. My experience with this event was like everyone would be pushing the hop forward beers and stuff like that. So we were like, you know what? Green ale, brown ale, a couple of styles that everyone can get behind. Let's do that tonight and see how they go.
All
right,
So I
well-
think the general admission crowd is starting to creep up on us. So we won't keep you much longer because your partner out there might be, I don't know, drowning. Yes.
All right, thanks for joining us, Paul. Looking forward to getting back to 5 and 20.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Good. All right, so we're here with Woodcock Brothers Brewing, and
to hold it that close. You can just hold it right in the middle of us, and we're good.
all right. So we're here with Woodcock Brothers Brewing, and I'm here with Tim.
Tim Woodcock.
Oh, perfect.
One of the brothers.
Well, all right, yeah, going right to the upper brass. Well, thanks for joining us today at Beerology. So what'd you bring today from the brewery?
We brought a porter. It's one of our original beers that we designed at the brewery. And we brought our Woodcock IPA.
All right.
So, sir, I mean, the one that like is always going around is the experimental. The
our
SBA.
XPA.
The SBA always constantly changing. It's the one that, you know, we always see what comes up. There's a floodgate that opens up. A couple of us have been Chris and I, we were lucky enough to go down to your brewery. Beautiful see. That's absolutely gorgeous. When you guys first opened, actually, so we were at the ballpark crew back. And you set up your booth. And I don't know who it was. Wonderful woman was that servant, and I walked over, and there were so many new Buffalo breweries coming into town, so everyone was just trying to rush everybody. And I walked over, I'm like, I've never seen these guys before. And she gave me a few more on every single beer that you guys had. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, this woman is awesome. I'm getting cold pours. I'm like, I found my happy spot right here. Right now. I'm staying and looking at the And so far, all your stuff is getting better. It's been awesome.
We have a new series of hot beers coming out. Woodcock IPA, the next release is going to be middle of next month. It's going to be the Woodcock IPA, but it's super dry hop. So the can looks the same. It'll say super dry hop on it. And it's going to start to mimic the XPA series quality of product. And a month after that, we'll be releasing the Mosaic dry hop. Then we'll go back to the XPA series. And then we're going to bring back 6.0. It's the beer that we're calling XPAs that everyone really likes. And that's going to take on our name that we retired. That'll be called the Hoppy Round.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you guys as brothers just get into it? How did you?
I was just a homeowner.
Okay.
And my brother was working in a contracting company that I worked for since I was 16. So when we found this building, we thought it was cool to take it maybe to the next level. Obviously, it grew exponentially.
You just ran into that building and just popped up. You're like, hey.
I live a mile from it.
Nice.
It's the most gorgeous old woodwork that completely just looks down upon your entire building.
It wasn't gorgeous, but it took a little bit getting
The center table, that's that old grain elevator.
that wasn't elevated.
But yeah, no, but the fact that you stumbled upon it. So for how many years has it been that you guys have been?
A little over 5.5, 6 in
Okay. Congratulations on that, guys. And I hope to get back on the very, very far side of Western New York. So getting over to some of the breweries that are popping up on the other end doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, for our listeners, actually, what's the address of the brewery so they can check it out?
It's 638 Lake Street. That's Route 425.
Perfect.
It's about a 50-minute ride from Buffalo, about a 25-minute ride from like Northern Ohio.
Nice. Yeah, definitely worth it. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Have a good time at Beerology, and I'll probably be stopping back. This porter is great.
Yeah, for sure. It's
And the
delicious.
I still remember those pieces. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, we're here with 42 North today. We have Zach. Hello, Zach. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, what beers did you guys bring today?
So on tap we have our Elimination Pilsner, which is one of our core beers. It's a Czech Pilsner. It's got a nice hot bite with a good dose of sauce in addition. And then we have the re-release of our Treaty Saison, which we've kind of reconstructed over the past 2 years to make it more of a classic DuPont style Saison. It's about 6%. It's got a nice spicy character to it.
And are those both available at the brewery as well?
Yep, starting today. Yep.
Where are you guys located?
East Aurora, New York, and it's the Pine Street right off Main, behind Biddles.
Perfect. All right, so, yeah. This guy, we're in the middle of recording, and he just comes up.
You can still talk. I just said you reach into your pocket. Jesus. I'm talking to people too.
Let's.
Sorry to interrupt.
Bye, Dan. Bye. We can cut this part. Are we allowed to talk about the bottle?
Yeah, we can talk about it. It's releasing today, so we're good.
All right, cool. And you also had a special bottle back there. It was a Sojourn.
Yeah, so we pulled a couple bottles. We're having a release today of our it's our new wild ale out of the 42 Below, our barrel house that we started. And it's one of the first Belgian style beers we had out of there. We've done some barrel aged stuff with our Scotch ale and our Russian barrels coming out soon. But this one is started as the same yeast that we use in the treaty, and then and it's a little higher in alcohol than the treaty as well. We put it in the Chardonnay barrels with some Brett Dree. That gives it kind of the tropical fruity element there, and then the Chardonnay like tannins really build up the body. Makes a nice mix. It's 8%, but it drinks really smooth, and it started from about 16 Plato and all the way below 0, so it's super dry.
Oh, yeah.
It has that full mouthfeel from the oak and a little bit from the alcohol as well. So yeah, it's really nice and special beer.
Yeah, that's pretty rare for it. I can't think of any other beers that are this dry and smooth, but still have those tropical notes.
Yeah, we were surprised that it got so low. We worked with 3 in the past, and it wasn't super aggressive. But the Saison took us down to about 1 Plato, and the 3 just cranked out the last few points and really rounded it out. So we tried to get about 4 barrels of the 3 Saison mix. We tasted them all, picked the 2 that we really liked, and then blended it with more acidic barrel that came from our Vagabond culture, which we released in our first year. And we put in just about 5% of that just to brighten it up a little bit. Made those esters kind of pop up.
You said 42 Below before. What's that?
So it's our barrel house. I've had basically it's a cellar on one of the buildings from Main Street next to our property, and they renovated the whole thing and kind of did it the same style as our tap room with reused materials and everything like some hardwood. And then what we do is we brew in our regular brew house, transfer it over in IBC totes, and then pour it into the barrels and let the conditioning process take place there. So it's a nice little space. We have
So we're at Beerology. It's all the science of beer. What is your favorite aspect of the science of beer? Like when it comes down to it, the mash, pH, mash, the kettle, the boil, or fermentation.
For me, it's all cold side. It's all about the yeast.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, in my mind, Matt and Clay, they're just setting things up so that me and the yeast can kind of take over and make the beer happen. And what I do in the lab, I do a lot of work with doing cell counts, viability counts, making sure the yeast is in good health. We're pinched for usually about 7 or 8 generations. We want to make sure it's performing the way it should. And then dosing. I think the really interesting part is working on pitch rate and oxygen rates to dial in with the kind of esters and phenols you want out of your yeast. So the fact that it's a living creature that can produce these compounds that kind of excite your palate, it's pretty cool, and you can just feed it the right kind of elements that it will produce for you. So we get to know our yeast, and we try new ones every now and then, but put it through the rigors so we can figure out the best way to use them. But it's such a neat part of the science of brewing that I get way into the cold side for sure. Which is why the barrel house is really cool too. Because when you get the Brett yeast in there, it's taking all the compounds produced by the sac and breaking it into these new, interesting, musty, fruity flavors along the way.
So I'm sure you're having a heyday since 42 Below opened up.
Yeah, exactly. We're filling up barrels. I get plays like, what do you want to order next? I'm like, this yeast, this bread over here, this bacteria. So it's fun. And we're just getting our feet wet right now, and getting to know the barrel house and how our barrels are treating the work and that kind of thing. And so over the next couple of years, we're really going to hone that in and some cool products. So,
very cool. Well, thank you, Zach. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Absolutely.
Hello, we are here with Eric from Sultans of Swig. Hi, Eric.
How you doing?
So, what is Sultans of Swig doing at Beerology this year?
We are a homebrew club in Buffalo. We are doing a taste test challenge. Basically, we have 3 flights of 3 beers. Each of the 3 flights, there are 2 beers that are the same, 1 that is different. In the first one, you had to guess which one had its pH lowered. Second one, you had to guess which one had its gluten content reduced. And in the third one, we used 2 different hops. Basically.
And I failed miserably.
I got them all right.
Of course.
I wonder why.
I mean, I knew the answers, but I'm glad to know that I still got it right.
Always good when one of the hosts just fails a taste test. Hey, we're tasting beers today, but I'm way off the bar here. Judge for yourself. But that's what the show's about.
Exactly. I mean, we have been drinking for quite some time now, so maybe our palates have been ruined.
Yeah, you go to a beer festival and your taste buds aren't doing what they're supposed to anymore. But
Exactly.
Yeah. I just had beer ice cream, so now I just want more ice cream.
That beer ice cream was very good.
Too much liquid nitrogen.
Too much?
And not enough.
I'm
I
curious,
think they used a little fat milk.
for the quiz, what kind of, what's the average for the quiz?
I don't know yet. Basically, we're taking all the results and we're gonna put them all together and calculate them out. And I have no idea what we're doing with any of the information, but it's a cool, fun science thing to do.
Get those people, get a name and email address, and then you're like, hey, we need judges for this competition. Come on down, you actually did really well.
Yeah, it's a good way. It's the future judges of the beer industry. The people that did really well in the quiz, you can be like, hey, you should be a beer judge.
Yeah, you could find some beer savant who didn't even know he could do that. That'd be pretty awesome. Like Happy Gilmore, but for beer.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit more about Sultans of Swig. What you guys do as a homebrew club?
We just get together and drink beer, and we have an excuse to do it. We meet once a month at Pearl Street. Basically, yeah. We all like to drink, and we're like, hey, how can we get together with other people that like drinking beer? And we're like, we can make beer, and then find other people that make beer and drink beer with them. So we get together once a month at Pearl Street. They put us down in the basement, away from the public,
Safe move.
Yeah,
Heavy, sway.
down the Brawler's Deli. And we bring beer in. They let us bring beer, which is very generous of them. And we get to sample what everybody's made. We have people that have been brewing for 40 plus years. We have people that haven't started brewing yet. And it's just a wealth of knowledge going on. And, it's nice to get other people's opinions just on the stuff that you're making, because even if someone doesn't have any experience, they might say something and be like, yes, that's the words I was looking for that I couldn't think of. Thank you, new brewer person, and for helping me think of that. The older brewing people, they can tell you what you did wrong, what you did right. It's just a great way to learn how to make your own beer.
I agree. I mean, ever since I joined the club, I've found that bringing my beers to the meetings, I've noticed how much my beers have been improved just by the input of people who have in my opinion, a better palate than I do, that can pick out certain off flavors better than I can.
Absolutely. The best part for me has been saying, this beer it's all right. It's not the best. What's wrong with it? And having someone be able to say, this is what you did wrong, and going back and thinking like, yeah, I did that. Next time I won't do that. And then the next time I make a beer, it's good. It's like that actually worked. So it's nice to have that kind of experience in the club. And it's just, sometimes we get to the point where there's too much good beer, and we're like, hey, does anybody have something bad they can bring in just so we can see if we can still taste this stuff?
I've got some failed.
We would love it.
So I will drop those off, and you could just go to town.
Please.
Give me the beer we need. Yes.
No, brewing is on the biggest uptick ever, and making your own beer is fun. If you like cooking, you will like making beer. If you like drinking beer, you will like making beer. If you are looking for something to do during football season, in between all the plays, because there's lots of downtime during football games, we brew. There's some downtime in brewing too, and you're supposed to clean or whatever, but you can watch TV instead. And then clean later.
Or you can just drink some more beer.
Yeah, exactly. You have to drink beer while you're making beer, so it's a really good excuse to drink beer.
If you're not drinking a beer, at least a beer, while you're brewing beer, you're not brewing beer.
No, you're just like making drinks.
I have never brewed a beer without drinking a beer.
What? Like, I don't think that's allowed. I don't think it's possible.
I heard the beer police come. They'll actually arrest you if you brew a beer without drinking beer. So, I mean, why risk it? Really?
It's very true. So, Eric, how long have you been home brewing?
I've been brewing for about 14 years. I brewed for like 7 years, just picking up box kits that were already like all the ingredients in there. And yeah, it's really easy. Like if you can make macaroni and cheese, you can make a beer out of the box kit.
Surprisingly enough, though, there are so many people who can't make macaroni.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's your target audience, but
Boil water.
yes.
You can brew a beer.
And even if you can't, I mean, you can make something close enough. I joined the club after about 7 years making those box kits, and within 6 months I was making all grain beer and just improving by leaps and bounds and brewing more and having fun brewing with other people and learning about their methods and their system and improving my own, and then having people over to my house to show them what I do. And it's just a lot of fun.
I would definitely have to agree with that. It's a lot of fun. So have you had any beers that have been like you were so excited to brew and then they just did not turn out the way you wanted them to?
Oh yeah. The second beer I ever made, made the mistake of using bathtub water.
Oh.
Yeah, that did not turn out well. Learned that lesson pretty quick. No, it wasn't leftover bathtub water. It was fresh from the tap, but yeah, did not turn out well, and just kept going. It was getting better and better and better, and joined the club, learned how to actually do it the right way, and to actually keep like notes and temperatures and
measurements and stuff, and
It's a science.
yeah, and that's why we're here, right? We're
So you
here.
were going for
Exactly.
Now, did you learn? Like we've got a table by our booth that's all about the science of water, the differences in the tastes that you get, and lucky enough, Buffalo actually has great water to brew beer with.
Yes.
Now, did you
Just
learn
out of the
to
shower.
Did you learn to treat
Yes.
water, or was it just like, okay, the bathtub had like a calcium deposit in it, like I should really be using the sink for
Yeah.
buy bottled water? Like what?
Yes. Yeah. After the bathtub incident, I was using distilled and bottled water, and then as time went on, I just got it out of the sink. Sometimes I'll do treatments, sometimes I don't. I just like, I bought a new house last year, and I'm like, I wonder how this house brews. So far, I've had pretty good luck. I've hadn't really had to add anything. Depending on what I'm brewing, there's certain beers you want to add some stuff to get certain things out of it. For the most part, Buffalo's got great brewing water.
It's very true. Very true.
So I love this question, and it's there's two questions I usually ask. I'm gonna just give one of them to you. You could have you're stuck on a deserted island. You get one beer that washes upon the shore, multiple cases. What beer would you love to have stuck with you?
Three philosophers. Because one, it'll get me really drunk and it'll make the day a lot easier. Two, it's probably got some nourishment in it. There's like a lot in that beer. And I'm just going to go with that. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm going to pretend that it is. And it's also very delicious. I love that beer.
All right, no, I'm amazed how quick that was. You didn't have to think about that.
So I do actually have a little bit of story about your beers. There was a beer that you did a while back that was I believe it was a clone of was it El Bravo from El Toro Bravo. And I remember the very first time you brought it to a meeting, it was a little too sweet.
Not too sweet.
Oh, yeah, a lot too sweet.
I had some issues with the fermentation, not with the fermentation, with the actual sparge. My mash temperatures weren't where they should have been, and I had way too many unfermentable sugars, and it was very sweet. This is a beer I added cedar to as well, because the original's by Flying Monkeys, and I loved that beer. I bought a lot of them, and I was supposed to save a bunch of them, and that didn't happen because it was too good.
It was way too good.
And I just kept drinking it. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make that beer. But yeah, my mash temperatures were way off. I brought it to a meeting, and I had a couple people give me some really good advice. One of them, actually two of them agreed. They said I should add Brett to it. One of them said just to add a bottle of Orval to it, which has Brett in it. I'm like, okay, sure. And I put it in the keg and I let it sit in my basement for almost a year. Just every once in a while I'd go and pull the airlock on it and it would blow a bunch of CO2 off. And that beer turned out amazing.
Yes,
I still have 2 bottles in my fridge, and like I look at them every day. I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna drink you. I don't know what I'm waiting for, because I usually don't hold on to beer.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only person who has a problem with you have a product, you sit on it, you age it, and then you now hit a point where you're like, it's not the day to drink it. Just you have those bottles that just sit there, and you're like, nope, not today. I'm going to have this IPA that I bought 2 days ago. And I've got like 2 bottles of yours. I've got aged bottles on the shelf. So I'm glad I'm not the only person who does that.
Well, that's the only beer that I've ever had like that. And it's because I actually, when I moved, I forgot about it. And it was sitting in a fridge in the basement that I never went in. And I looked one day and it was there. I'm like, oh, I still have that beer? Awesome. But usually I can't wait.
So what you need to do is you have to give yourself a timetable. So you need to brew it again, give us some bottles,
Oh, okay.
save one, wait a year, then go back, drink the older one, because then you've got it a year ahead now that the bottle is already a year old. And then you just keep aging one after the other. And just keep producing.
This is a great plan.
This is terrifying.
I should actually do that because then I'll have more of it too.
And honestly, the points of me bringing that beer up was that was one of the best. After you added the dregs of that bottle to it, that was one of the best homebrews I've ever had.
Thank you.
Is after you added that beer was phenomenal.
And it went through processes too. Like I would taste a little bit after like a couple months, but oh, that's interesting. Let's just let that sit in the keg for a little while longer. And then 6 months later, oh, that's very different. And then I finally was like, no, I'm going to start pouring out of this thing now. And it just kept changing on itself. And now, the last one I had was probably about 6 months ago. And it was phenomenal.
Wow. I think you should actually come on one episode and bring one of those bottles on the episode.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
Well, thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. We await the arrival of some delicious beer.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me, guys.
Thank you.